What is up, bras? It is time for the long-awaited upper-lower breakdown. Let's get into it. We really do need to bring back the Ziz legacy of not giving a bark about what other people have to say about what you are doing. I have gotten so many requests from you guys about doing a full breakdown on my split, and I just first off want to say that this split right now is directly targeted towards me. But I'm going to tell you guys how you can modify my split in order to work towards your weak points. With that being said, let's get into the video. So first off is my chest and shoulder day. Right now my weakest point is honestly my chest. My arms are starting to really blow up off of doing upper lower. So I really want to start working on my chest a little bit more, get just, a little bit more full of a chest. And the way I'm going to do that is by prioritizing that in upper lower. If you guys have any weak points, your first day of the week should be your most weak point, because that way you have the most amount of energy coming off your rest day to the point where you could exert all this energy into the lacking muscle group. As we can see here, Monday is my chest and shoulder focused day. So literally I'm just going to go step by step on why I do what I do. So first off, incline plate loaded bench. I do this on the Smith machine, reason being so I'm in a more stable movement. I did a whole YouTube video on this last YouTube video, so if you guys want to check it out, feel free to go watch the workout. But yeah, I stay on the Smith machine right after I'm done, and I just do some shoulder press right here. It's just really nice because you don't have to go find a new machine. You literally just move the bench 2 settings upwards and you're already there, which is why I absolutely love it. Then I go to the pec deck, fail at 5 to 6. The reason why I'm doing pec deck next is just because I can hammer my chest. And then I go to lateral raises just for more shoulders, and then a rear delt fly, because if you don't know, your shoulder has 3 different heads. First up, you have your front delt, which is getting trained in the incline press. Then you have your side delt, which is getting trained in the lateral raises. And then you don't want to have lacking rear delts. Having big rear delts will actually give your shoulders a much more defined look and will definitely make them pop a little bit more. So I highly recommend hitting some rear delts. I just do 1 set, and then I do hammer curls. You guys will see a lot of repetition in this split, but I pretty much just go hammer curls, and then plate loaded cable preacher curl. Those are the only 2 bicep movements I really ever do. And then I just go straight into a long row push down. I do 2 sets of long row push down because I don't want to be doing 2 different movements on my triceps on a non-arm focused upper day. And then pretty much, since I have a dominant upper back, I actually will not do an upper back row. Instead, I will add in another chest movement towards the end of my workout. And then I do lat pull downs, which is just 1 set, and then a low row, which is also just 1 set. And then yeah, since I really am trying to bring my chest, I usually do 1 more chest movement here. That is pretty much what I have found that works best for me. Obviously, you guys, if you're not really trying to prioritize your chest, you should be doing these 3 different back movements. But I have a very, very dominant back due to years and years of deadlifting. So if you're not in that position, most people do need to have more back volume. So I would highly recommend just sticking to what I have here. But yeah, that is it for my first day, Monday, which is my chest and shoulder focus upper day. Alright, I decided to toss on a stringer just because I was kind of feeling small as fuck. But yeah, this is my quad focus lower day. As we could see here, the calves are cropped out, and that is not by a mistake. My calves are probably one of the worst parts of my legs right now. You can see here I have crazy good quad insertions along with good vascularity. I kind of stopped squatting as soon as I got to a 505 squat because I don't really want to risk being injured right now. And as soon as my back kind of got snapped up, I was like, alright, kind of done with the squatting for a bit. But yeah, I obviously have very good quad insertions, along with them being probably one of the best parts of my physique. So one of the main things that I have to work on my physique is my calves. So that is why you can see here I have calf raises and then stand-in calf raises. The first ones that I do are usually seated, but yeah, reason for that is because I'm getting more calf volume in, and I'm doing that at the beginning of my workout. I do not really need to grow my quads much more, and I have very strong abductors from squatting my whole life. But if you do not squat above 500 pounds, get rid of this calf raise here and just put some barbell squats or some hack squats if you have very bad joint pain. But I would highly recommend trying to get to about a 500-pound barbell squat, you're just gonna build a phenomenal base on your legs. And when I say a 500-pound squat, I don't mean just some, half rep squat. I'm gonna toss up what it looked like when I squatted 500 pounds, but yeah, like I go ass to the grass, and that is due to just wanting to build big legs. You want to have great form while you're squatting such a high weight. You do not want to be doing some bullshit reps that don't really count, because at the end of the day, if you're not having good form, you are not going to see much leg growth. But yeah, once you get to about a 500-pound squat, even like 475, you're gonna have some pretty big legs at the end of the day. And with that being said, your abductors are gonna get bigger, and you're just gonna have some pretty solid glutes overall if you're getting that much weight on your squat. So once you get to about 500-pound squat, if you're like me and you have horrible calves, then you could just toss in another set of calf raises, and then I go straight into leg extensions. Obviously, I do not want to lose my quad muscle, so I do 2 sets to failure of leg extensions, and then yeah, standing calf raises just to get another variation. And then since I am still trying to grow my arms, I do a set of hammer curls, a set of tricep push downs, and then a set of dumbbell lateral raises. This is not going to be too fatiguing since it's just 1 set per muscle group, and I honestly don't go as hard as I would on my upper days, but I do like just getting a little bit more volume in, since I don't want to just go to the gym for about 25 minutes, do some calf raises and then leg extensions and more calf raises and dip. So I will add in just some arms on my lower day, so that way I could, first of all, look good on social media, but second of all, actually do more in the gym, since I don't want to be completely bored. But if you're squatting, your squat sessions should take about 30 to 45 minutes. I noticed when I was getting to these super high weights, it would take me about 30 to 45 minutes just to squat. First of all, properly warming up is one of the best things you could do for squatting, and then also just working up to a high weight takes a lot of time on squats, since it is so heavy on your CNS. That is pretty much it for my quad focus lower day. I don't really need too much bigger of quads because they are just genetically overpowering to my physique. But as we can see here, like, having good quads will literally give you that X factor that pretty much 10x's your physique. Like, I noticed when I pull my pants down, bro, no diddy shit, my just physique 10x's, because the way my quads sweep in, like right here and here, it like causes more of an X frame. And when you have an X frame, it is so much better of an illusion that you have a smaller waist. So 2 biggest things is growing your shoulders and then also your X frame on quads. Alright, next up here is my back focused upper day. This is the only back focused upper day that I do in the week, because my back here is obviously one of my genetic strong points. You can literally see my lat insertions in my front pose, which is how you know something freaky is probably going on. Pretty much what I do is I just start off with a lat pull down. I really try to make sure that I just stay like completely straight. I don't really try to bend back. I see far too many people in the gym now who just bend back, go down, and I swear, once you start properly doing lat pull downs where you just pull directly in that like vertical plane and you just do it slow and controlled with that heavy weight, you will notice so much more back gains. Like, I have made unreal back gains just by doing that tiny little fix in my lat pull down form. And then I go straight into a T-bar row here. I highly recommend, if you have the Punisher T-bar row, to do that machine, because I can literally only do like 70 pounds on both sides, which is like not a lot of weight at all, because I'll see some people who toss like 7 plates on a T-bar row and are doing it very easily. But definitely look, if your gym has the humbler, to definitely do that T-bar row machine, because without a doubt that shit will humble you, hence the name the humbler. But yeah, I highly recommend doing that humbler T-bar row. And then I just do a single arm plate loaded machine, which is a I'm currently on a hammer strength one in my program, but any single arm row works. You can even go on the cable and just, rip normal cable rows if you want. Then I go straight into a plate loaded incline press. Reason for this, my chest is my lacking muscle group right now, so I will do that towards the beginning of majority of the alternating days. So I'll do arms. So for instance, on an arm day, I'll do my arm movements and then straight to chest. On my back day, I do my back movements and then I go straight to chest. And then obviously on the chest day, I'm already doing chest at the beginning, so I don't need to do it after chest. Like, you brain. But yeah, I go straight into chest. I stay on the Smith machine and I just do the plate loaded incline press because I swear that is the most peak movement you could do for your chest gains. It's very easy to progressive overload on. But then I go into a pec deck, and if you watch my last video, I did a pretty good explanation. But a lot of people on pec deck, they like to pinch their scalp back and go like that, and that is actually cooking your chest gains. All you need to do, just like lap cooldowns, you stay completely straight. You want your torso to be completely straight, aligned with your rib cage, and just go. You don't want to lean forward and you don't want to pinch back. All you need to do is stay completely forward. You will notice that too on a lot of movements in the gym, where the less complex you make it, the easier it is to mitigate the variables and just do a better job on progressive overloading. And then next up, I do a set of dips that is just for chest, triceps, and shoulders all in one. It's kind of that golden movement. Single arm tricep row push downs. You could honestly do any tricep rope movement here, but I would not recommend doing a JM press since you are probably going to be a little bit fried. And then some lateral raises, just 2 sets to failure. And then I'll do a plate loaded preacher curl, unilateral of course. On these unilateral movements though, you really have to make sure to warm up properly because you can actually tear your shit if you do not properly warm up on your plate loaded preacher curls. And then, like I said, you'll notice a lot, I just do the same bicep movement. So I do a set of dumbbell hammer curls at the end, and that is it for my back focused upper day. But obviously the main goal, hit the back and then go straight into chest, since the chest is the weak point and you're doing that more towards the beginning of the workout, meaning you're gonna have more energy towards your chest. All right, as we can see here, Thursday, me and my dog Copper, we were very dialed in on our rest. Thursday is a non-negotiable rest day. You have to be taking your rest day on this day. It doesn't have to be on Thursday, but after your 3 lifts, you need to take that rest day. So say you're lifting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday would have to be a rest day because you have to let your CNS recover on upper lower, and you do not want to go hit another lower day after lifting 3 days consecutively. So I would highly make sure to get that rest day in on 3 days after you're lifting. But yeah, Thursday is my non-negotiable rest day, and then you guys will see later on how on Sunday I could kind of see how I'm feeling, where if I feel good and have a lot of energy, I can hit another lift. But if I'm feeling kind of tired and I notice my lifts are going down, I will make sure to take that rest day. But obviously the biggest thing on upper lower is to make sure you're getting your quality rest, because that rest is going to equal more gains in the long run. I've also had a bunch of people kind of ask me about why I don't do full body every other day, and the reason behind that is because I could just not imagine myself resting every other day. Alright, now finally the long awaited arm focused upper day. As you guys know, my arms were probably one of my biggest genetic weak points for a while, until I started incorporating this arm focused upper day. And as we can see here, my triceps and delts have absolutely just blown up recently, and I give all the credit to this arm focused upper day because it has just been some crazy gains. Probably one of the most goated tricep movements that you guys all know but probably don't do is the JM press on the Smith machine. This is the best tricep movement I have ever done, and I swear I have never noticed so much tricep gains until I started doing these JM presses on the Smith machine and just going hard as fuck while trying to progressive overload every week. Then I pretty much alternate. I do a set of biceps, a set of triceps, and another set of biceps. So I do the unilateral preacher curls. I always try to do the same movement. This is because I can focus on progressive overloading on those movements to help get stronger, and as we know, being stronger equals more gains. Then I go into the cable push downs. You always want to make sure that you're using the same attachment. I like to use the one where I can kind of lock my hands in. You could honestly use whatever feels the best for you, because at the end of the day, whatever you have the best mind muscle connection with is what probably will make you the most gains. And then, like I said, you'll be seeing a lot of the dumbbell hammer curls, so I just do another set till failure of 5 to 6. And bro, it has been dumb how much strength I have been putting on my dumbbell hammer curls. I remember the first time I did them with Jesse, I was doing about 45 pounds, and now I'm literally at 65 pounds on the dumbbell hammer curls, which, like, I never thought I would be able to just dumbbell hammer curl 65 pounds like that. But we are moving fucking weight now. Since I want to work on my chest, I go straight into pec deck. If your back is lacking, go straight into back. If your shoulders are lacking, go straight into shoulders. But for me, my chest is what I want to focus on. So I'm going to do pec deck, and I'm going to keep my torso completely aligned with my rib cage. Then I do a set of lat pull downs, pretty much just the same shit that we did before. The T-bar rows on the humbler, and then I actually don't do single arm lat pull downs because my lats are very dominant, so instead I just add in another chest movement. Right here though, I like to do a locked in chest movement on a machine because I can actually end up getting hurt doing a Smith machine movement, and it takes a lot off my arms when I'm on a machine kind of just in like that. So if you have any just closed grip incline machines at your gym, highly recommend that if you're trying to build your chest. Alright, a lot of you guys will probably have lacking glutes. I have genetically blessed glutes, unfortunately, due to years of hockey, which if you don't know, the skating motion in hockey is literally a glute kickback where you skate and you literally do a glute kickback. So I do not want to grow my glutes anymore. A lot of side poses that I do, my glutes actually stick out a little bit too much and it looks a little bit weird, almost like I photoshopped my ass to look bigger, but it's literally just genetics, I swear. So yeah, I have stupidly blessed glutes. Like if I was a woman, I would probably have 2 million followers by now. But I just got this lower day from one of my boys because he let's just say he does not have the best glute genetics, but this is probably one of the best glute workouts that you could do as a dude. This is the ham and glute focus day. I do none of this actually except for the lying ham curls and the seated ham curls. So the way that my hammy lower day has kind of been looking recently is a little bit different, and that is due to my dummy glute genetics. But I swear a lot of you guys will not have that level of glute genetics, but obviously I've done years of deadlifting over 645, which is very prominent on your hamstrings and glutes. Then obviously hockey, where skating caused me to grow the fuck out of my glutes. That's why a lot of hockey players are known for having dump trucks. But pretty much since my calves are my lacking muscle group, I will just do some calf raises, 2 sets like the quad day, and then I just do 2x the hammy curls. I like to do seated more just so that I feel it a little bit better, and then I go back into another set of calf raises. Here though, I do the donkey calf raises where you have a weight on your spine, and then I do some side and rear delts because at the end of the day, bro, anybody could use a little bit more of delts. That is pretty much it for my hamstring lower day. That is just due to me having stupidly big glutes and I do not want to grow my glutes anymore. Sunday could be a rest day if you are feeling very tired and you just need that extra rest. There's definitely nothing wrong with taking a rest day on Sunday. You're actually probably going to end up making more gains just because you're getting the proper rest that your body needs. So I would highly recommend trying to stay out of the gym and just trying to get that rest day. But if you're like me and you're a gym cell and you can't really get out of the gym, I highly recommend doing some weak points. I like to do a little bit of abs, I'll do cardio, and I will also end up hitting my biceps and triceps a little bit. I won't do too much volume, but a little bit of a pump isn't gonna hurt anybody. I would definitely highly recommend taking that rest day. I notice when I do take that rest day on Sunday, I feel way better the next day and I could properly focus on progressive overloading. But with that being said, that is it for the workout split. I literally just dropped so much free ball knowledge for you guys that coaches would be charging hundreds and hundreds of dollars for. So all I ask is that you drop a like on the video and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. But I really do just like getting to inform you guys on all this information that I have access to, because I know way too many people who charge way too much money, and I just want to help out whoever I can get on this upper lower meta, because I'm telling you guys, the gains go absolutely crazy. But that is going to be pretty much it for the video, and with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, bruh.